First at 4, the snow showers and the raindrops are gone. Sun is out, so can we get some warmer temperatures in here before the weekend? Karen?
Also ahead, we kick off 2 hours of answering your questions about the coronavirus, plus a multi-billion-dollar deal to fight the outbreak. Joe Biden's Super Tuesday comeback knocks another Democrat out of the race. Now, the focus is shifting to Michigan with an announcement from Bernie Sanders' campaign. Paula.
And I'll show you how Michigan is making it even easier for everyone to vote, even if you're not registered yet. These stories and more are happening right now on Local 4, First at 4.
Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
Good afternoon. I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, we've got some breaking news with a new lawsuit against the University of Michigan. Claims of sexual abuse by a school doctor now headed to court. A man who was a wrestler in college filed that suit today, claiming he was molested dozens of times. The victim is only identified as John Doe. The claim says he was a student from 1984 to 1989. The accusations focus on Dr. Robert E. Anderson, who worked at U of M for years but then died in 2008. Other former athletes have made similar claims. The school, meantime, has launched its investigation and opened a hotline for victims. It's no understatement to say the race for president has taken some sharp twists and turns this week. The fallout from Super Tuesday is being felt right here in Michigan as another candidate drops out of the race. Devin Scillian in the newsroom tracking the fallout. And Devin, Michael Bloomberg learned an expensive lesson.
Well, expensive to most of us, not as expensive to Bloomberg, of course, given the fortune that he has. A lot of people, though, have probably seen the constant Bloomberg. In fact, we just saw one a few moments ago. Michael Bloomberg ads here in Detroit as he spent about $500,000 of his own money on campaign ads across the country. $500 million, sorry, of his own money. That big spending did not translate, though, into delegates. The former New York mayor won just 50 on Super Tuesday, far behind the frontrunners Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders. Bloomberg now endorsing Joe Biden. Again, don't feel too bad for Bloomberg, still worth an estimated $61 billion, but also vowing to keep spending some of that money to defeat Donald Trump. Bloomberg was supposed to be in Macomb County tomorrow. That campaign event, of course, now canceled. Senator Elizabeth Warren is scheduled to be in Lansing on Friday, but many people are wondering whether or not she can stay longer in the race. Senator Bernie Sanders, meanwhile, announced he will be at the TFC Center in Detroit on Friday. Top 3 candidates and delegates right now are Joe Biden, 513, Bernie Sanders with 461, and as you can see, Elizabeth Warren far behind with 47. A candidate needs 1,991 to win the nomination. We haven't heard about any Biden appearances yet before the primary here in Michigan, but former Michigan Governor Jennifer Granholm just gave him her endorsement. Michigan's primary now just 6 days away, so more to come, obviously, between now and then. Karen, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Devin. And if you have not registered to vote and the new developments have perhaps inspired you to cast a ballot, don't give up. In just a few minutes, Paula Tutman will show you how to walk up, register, and vote. Stick around for that information. The death toll is climbing. Congress ready to act, and we are watching the financial markets closely. It is all part of our coronavirus coverage. Now, the state of Washington has now reported a 10th death from the coronavirus, and the state of California is reporting its first, bringing the U.S. total to 11. The U.S. government is scrambling to make more test kits available, which could boost the number of cases as more people get tested. Meantime, on Capitol Hill, negotiators have agreed to approve $8.3 billion for this outbreak. The House could vote later on that today. So let's take a quick check of the Dow Jones. Market showed signs of improvement today after several big drops. Take a look. You can see the Dow Jones is up more than 1,100 points. Some saying that boost could be tied more to Joe Biden's Super Tuesday performance, as he is seen as more business-friendly than Bernie Sanders. Still a roller coaster of a week. Concerns about the coronavirus could have you feeling anxious, perhaps stressed. Over the next 2 hours, we'll be giving you a lot of information for your family that you need during this outbreak. Right now, Local 4's Kimberly Gill joins us with expert advice on how we can react to the crisis without overreacting. Kim.
Yeah. Hi, Karen. Good afternoon. First, stay informed, and no matter what happens with the coronavirus, remember to try not to panic.
News of where and who is getting the coronavirus is coming at us fast, and it can be a lot to take in.
I like the advice that we need to prepare but not panic, and I think that will stand us in good stead physically, emotionally, and mentally.
Dr. Donna Rockwell is a clinical psychologist. She says to really think things through carefully and fully and keep it in perspective and get all the facts.
Well, I think it's important to continue having a pulse on what's happening right now, to listen to news reports that you trust, to listen to the radio perhaps, and to understand what you need to do to prepare, but not to stop living completely. We need to continue to do the things we've always done.
And if you have children, talk to them about what they might be hearing and seeing about the coronavirus.
Our kids are watching us all the time for cues on how they should react to things, so we need to stay calm and grounded so they can stay calm and grounded. And we need to really talk to them and listen to them and hear them at the level at which they are concerned and speak to them at that level so that we can assure them, calm them, and know they have our unconditional support, that they're safe.
And Dr. Rockwell says mindfulness can help us focus.
Because we're always either catastrophizing about the future or bemoaning something in the past. So to come back to right here, right now, and to just be in this moment, there's no problem right now. And then to also be diligent and keep your ear to the ground of what the new information is and what we need to do to keep our families safe.
And parents can ease any stress children feel by focusing them on their routines and schedules. And I think it's also a good idea, Karen, if you focus on what you're doing to stay safe as well. A lot of times kids feel empowered if they know what to do to stay safe. So just encourage them, of course, to wash their hands and wash it, as long as you can sing happy birthday after they come off the playground, wash their hands, that sort of thing. I think those are always good reminders.
They do ask a lot of questions. I know they were asking, and I said they wanted to carry their hand sanitizer thing on their backpack. I'm like, sure. Use that, if that makes you feel good, and just, calm.
And oftentimes we don't know the answers to all the questions that people have and kids have nowadays, but I think just keeping the lines of communication open so that they do feel like they can come to you and you can say, as soon as we know the answer, we'll tell you, but they're still trying to figure a lot of it out. So
good advice. We appreciate it. Thank you, Kim. And our coronavirus coverage continues at 5. Dr. McGeorge will be here to update us on what we need to know about the crisis today. And then at 5:30, Help Me Hank is going to take a look at the 4 things you should be thinking about right now in your day-to-day life. At 6, a unique opportunity. Our cameras actually go inside the State Emergency Command Center, which is monitoring things throughout the state. We'll show you what's going on there, so make sure to stay with us throughout the evening. Some of you may have seen some rain and snow flurries blow through town this morning. It's still breezy. Ben Bailey standing by with a peek at what is next. Hey, Ben.
Yeah, Karen, this morning, here's what 4 Live radar looked like, and it was mostly south of 8 Mile, although we did get some of those snow flurries across Oakland, Macomb counties. It didn't amount to much, and it was pretty quickly gone. In fact, by the lunch hour, a lot of us were under dry conditions. Now the clouds have moved out, sunshine's come back, and those clear skies tonight really not going to help us out a whole lot. We're going to stay in the 40s at least through 6 o'clock, but notice that we're going to be down to the freezing mark there at midnight as skies clear out. And we've got some cool numbers ahead before we really bounce back over the weekend. That's the best part of the forecast, and we'll give it both to you coming up in just a few minutes. Karen?
Appreciate it. Thank you, Ben. Police need your help right now finding the man accused of firing shots at his ex-girlfriend and her new boyfriend. This went down in Warren. Investigators say 25-year-old Cameron Trimble fired shots at the couple as they drove away from a home on Jewett Avenue. Police shut down the area after reports Trimble barricaded himself inside. So officers then sent a robot into the home. Well, they found nobody inside. So police right now believe that Trimble may be headed to Atlanta. He is considered armed and dangerous. Well, take a look at this. Work has begun on taking down the last big piece of Joe Louis Arena. Video from Sky 4 showing crews working this morning. An 880-ton steel truss held up by 2 towers will be lowered and then taken apart. Before the demolition finishes, work also needs to be done under the arena. City says the full demolition should wrap up by the end of May.